She was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with grace and pride, and she had a small support group of family and friends that understood what she was going through and what she stood for in the community, left a mark long after she was gone. She was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with grace and pride. She worked as a dancer at night to pay her bills and survive. But one night, when she got off work, she got into her car and drove home. But little did she know she was being followed. For a few days, she was stalked. When she got home, she started walking to the front door, but she was approached from behind her. And then she woke up in her apartment, tied up, and there were people with hoodies on and masks. And she started to cry. And she begged and pleaded. She tried to get away, but she didn't get far. And they beat her to death and left blood all over the floor. She was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with grace and pride. And what she stood for left a mark on the neighborhood forever. She was found in her apartment with bruises and marks all over her body. Blood was spilled all over the carpet, and blood was on the walls with writing that said, "You're an abomination." And blood, her blood. She was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with grace and pride. But the world outside was jealous. They taunted her and made fun of her. But her spirit remained strong, no matter what they ever threw at her. And even though she was murdered, she left a permanent mark on the neighborhood. Because she was beautiful and angelic, she walked the streets with grace and pride. Yeah, and grace and pride were her best friends. She was beautiful and angelic. She was a dancer, and she was innocent. She was a victim of a hate crime in the most brutal way. The most brutal way. She was targeted and murdered, beat to death for being different, for standing up for what she believed in, for making a decision that only she can make herself. They murdered her for being transgender. She was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with her friends' grace and pride, and her name was Angel. And the world outside would laugh and taunt her, but her spirit would remain strong no matter what they threw at her, because she had a small circle that supported her. And she stood for peace, love, and equality. And these murderers wouldn't get away with this. Because at trial, they were found guilty and sentenced to prison and life, where they learned the true nature of suffering. Because little did they know what she had gone through to become Angel, strong and angelic and beautiful. She had to suffer because the outside world was jealous. They couldn't understand and accept her, so they taunted her. But her spirit remained gone in the neighborhood, in the community where she left a mark, because she was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with grace and pride. She was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with grace and pride. She was beautiful and angelic. She walked the streets with grace and pride. This is the story of Angel, and no one should ever have to go through this, including her loved ones in the community.